morning, everyone. Sut Nam. Thank you for joining me to honor your mind and your body and your spirit. Let's just take a comfortable position on our cushion or blanket, block, so that our spine and back of our neck can sit nice and tall and long, opening up our chest, opening up our diaphragm, and opening up our heart. Gently close your eyes and soften your thoughts. Soften your eyes. Soften your shoulders. Soften your heart. Observe your breath as it is, soft and gentle, breathing life into you with each inhale and relaxation with each exhale. Feel the grace of being present, returning to that awareness again and again. You may open your eyes now. For this morning's intention, you may think of a positive word or phrase to have with you on your mat and perhaps carry with you throughout the day. This morning's intention is to continue our celebration of the National Yoga Awareness Month. Kundalini Yoga is a style of yoga under the Hatha school, which is the active or action school, although it draws on other schools such as Bhakti, which is the devotional school. It actually predates Vinyasa, goes way, way back, and is practiced more in the East, in Europe, and what I understand, Canada, than it is practiced in the United States. The practice originated and actually works best practiced one-on-one with an experienced Kundalini Yogi, as it addresses specific areas of need for the individual in a very therapeutic way. It's often referred to as the yoga of awareness. What's unique about Kundalini is wearing white, and it's for purity. It actually also reflects all colors, so it's uniting in that. There's sequences or movements called kriyas, and the kriya is a quick, powerful movement to clear specific areas of the body, and those movements are repetitious. There's chanting and use of mantras, and I know some people get a little weirded out by chanting, but just think of it as a cappella singing, singing without the music behind you. The mantras are just affirmations, and it's similar to doing breathing exercises, but it focuses specifically on the vibration that you're creating and the meaning of the words. So there's one chant that opens every practice with the Kundalini, and it's Ong Namo Guru Dav Namo. Ong Namo means I bow to the divine wisdom of all that is, and then Guru Dav Namo, or Dev Namo rather, I bow to the divine teacher within. Also, what's unique about Kundalini, in a way, is that it really works with the chakra system, working from the first chakra at the base of the spine, and there's actually a Kundalini character that works from that base spine, from the pelvic floor on up through your spinal cord, through the 7 energy centers, which are the chakras, and to the crown. So basically, in a nutshell, Kundalini works on the energy body, not so much on the physical body. So in Kundalini, the pranayama that is often used, the breathing technique, is called the breath of fire. And the breath of fire can be one of 2 types of breathing techniques. The Kapalabhati breathing, which is when we normally breathe, our inhale is active and our exhale is passive. So in Kapalabhati, it's the inhale is neutral, passive, and the exhale is actually very active. And that's one of the breaths of fire. The other one is Bhastrika, which is also called bellows breath. And that is where the inhale and exhale are both very active. So I've seen in my research that both of those get employed, and both of those are sometimes called the breath of fire. So we'll work with both of those today. So I want to just warn you that those breaths are very, very active, very forceful, and may cause dizziness. So if you have like high blood pressure, or if you're pregnant, not a problem here. Just listen to your body. Be careful of following me. It may not be suitable for yourself. So really listen to your body. So I'm going to go to the mat now and we'll start. So continue in your nice, comfortable seated position. I always like sitting on a towel so that it can lower my knees to a degree, so it's in line with the groin, maybe a little bit lower. We're going to start, and I'm just going to reiterate that Kundalini, sorry, thinking of the breath, Kundalini actually works on the energy body, the energetic body, more so than the physical body. So it's, think of today's practice as activating your energy. It's not going to be a workout, it's going to be a work inside. So with your nice, comfortable seated position, bring your hands together and start rubbing them. This will create energy. It creates warmth. You think of the sun being one of our best energy sources, and that creates warmth. We're just going to create a little bit of energy and warmth here by rubbing our hands together. And then we're going to place them at our heart's center. Our thumb is going to go on our sternum, which is our breastbone there, and elbows will go out to the sides. So oftentimes we have our Anjali mudra with our elbows down. This one, the elbows go out to the side. Thumbs are resting on your sternum, and you're actually creating a little force with your hands, pushing them together. And we're going to do the chant 3 times. It's the one I just mentioned a minute ago. So I'll say it out loud first, and then I'll do the chant. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. So we'll start. Om Namo Guru Dev Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And we'll just take a moment of meditation. We'll use the Gyan mudra, which is bringing your index finger and your thumb together. It's a concentration mudra, and we'll just rest that on our laps. And while we're doing our meditation, I'm going to go through the points, the energy systems that are called the chakras. You just relax in your meditative state. We'll start with the first chakra, which is in the base of your spine, pelvic floor. And its energy is all about foundation, stability, security. The second chakra is found along the spine, around your hips. And that is about emotions. That's the energy center for emotions. The third chakra is along your spine, located around the solar plexus, right below your rib cage. And that is about personal power and growth. That is its energy. The fourth chakra is your heart. And that energy is about love. The fifth chakra is along your spine, located in your area of your throat. And that energy is about communication. The sixth energy is located between your eyebrows, often called the third eye. And that energy is about your intuition, really delving in and connecting with your intuition. The seventh chakra resides on the crown of your head, and that energy is about awareness. Those are the 7 chakras of this chakra system. In Kundalini Yoga, there's actually an 8th chakra, which is your aura, which surrounds you from about 4 feet up and out around. So just take a few moments and focus on a chakra. If you're not sure which one to focus on, I suggest focusing on your third eye, your intuition, letting that be your teacher today in the practice, trusting yourself to know what's right for your body and right for your energy. We'll open our eyes now. And the key Kriyas, I always transpose that, the Kriyas are about rapid movements and repeated movements. So there's a lot of repetition here. And it reminds me, one of the very first yoga apps I had when I first had an iPad back in 2009, I think it was. There was an app called Yoga 101. And one of the phrases that the woman teaching often used is, the magic is in the repetition. So that came to mind with this particular style of yoga, because there's a lot of repetition, and it's about building that energy. So in your seated position, if you would just grab onto your ankles, and with your straight back, we're just going to pivot from the hips and breathe out, exhaling, and then inhaling. And this doesn't have to be the breath of fire. It just can be a nice deep inhale and deep exhale. Just kind of loosening up. And just think about those chakras that I mentioned, that we're working on different areas of the body to awaken the chakra. When you're full steam ahead, as I would say, your chakras are all nice and open and flowing, energy's flowing nicely between them. So just kind of do that. Inhaling and exhaling. And we'll do a couple more. Inhale. And then come back up to seat position. Move your hands to your knees. And we're going to do kind of a cat-cow movement in seated position. So we're going to round down, sending our eyes to our feet, to the mat, rounding our back, exhaling, and then inhaling, lifting our chest up and out, sending our gaze up above the tree line. And exhale, rounding again. Inhale, lifting up, extending our chest and our chin out, sending our eyes up. Exhale, rounding our back, sending our gaze down. Inhale, sending our gaze up. Just really feel that energy moving along your spine. Waking up the whole chakra system. And we'll do a few more. And then come back to a seated position where your spine is nice and long. We're going to take our nose and we're going to stir it like we're stirring a pot. So we're going to move like we're doing the cat-cow as well. So we're going to move out, extending our chest out, sending that nose out to the outer edge of the pot, coming back in, rounding our back, sending our nose down to the inner edge of the pot, and then out again, sending our nose out to the far edge of the pot, coming back in, exhaling, and then inhaling out, Exhaling in, inhaling out. Exhaling in, that sounds a little odd. We extend our nose out with our inhale and bring our nose in on the exhale. And then we come back to center and then we'll just turn and reverse that direction. Sending our nose out with our inhale, bring it in on inhale, exhale. Sending your nose out, nice big stir. Sending it back in, rounding the back. And then we'll come back to center. We'll bring our hands up to our shoulders. Our elbows will be out at shoulder height. We'll just kind of rest our hands on our shoulder and bring our elbows together and bring them back out again. So exhale, bringing them in. Inhale, bringing them out. Inhale. And if you want to try the breath of fire with this, you can. So exhale. A couple more times. And bring your hands down. With the breath of fire, the action of the exhale is coming through your nose, so you can audibly hear that. But there's a push on your stomach too. And then for the bellows breath, the one that's active both inhale and exhale, it's so that's the difference between the two. The Kapalabhati is basically a forceful exhale. The Bhaktri, I forget the name of it, I have to look at it, is both inhale and exhale. So our next one, we're gonna have our hands out extended at shoulder height. We're gonna interlace our fingers, but we're gonna keep the index fingers pointing ahead. And this one, we're gonna do that both inhale and exhale active breath. And you stop, bring your hands together, Anjali mudra, elbows up and out, thumbs resting on your breastplate. Close your eyes and just hold and release. For our next pose, we're going to get onto our hands and knees. Now we're going to tuck our toes under, lifting our hips, and come into downward dog. Interestingly, in Kundalini, downward dog is called triangle pose, which actually to me makes sense. I never understood the downward dog part. So inhale and exhale, pedaling your feet. So you pedal with the one foot with the inhale and pedal the other foot with the exhale. And this can be more of a relaxed breath since you're in a inversion position. I wouldn't employ the breath of fire here. Just kind of waking up your legs. And that first chakra actually is about your feet and your legs too, that foundation that you have going all the way down to your feet. So we're going to bring our knees back down to the mat. Bring our knees together. Then we'll have our hands where our wrists are right below our shoulders, just like tabletop. Fingers are spread, index finger pointing up to the top of the mat. And we're going to lift our right leg up so it's hip height. Again, pushing down in our hands, creating a nice even distribution of weight in our hands. And then we're going to bring our knee to our nose. So we're going to curl our round our back, bringing our nose close to our knee, and then extending our foot back to the back of the mat again. So exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Inhale, extend it to the back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to the back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to the back. And just create a nice flow here. Repetition. And we'll come down with our leg, and we'll do that on the other side, bringing our knees together and checking on our hands. Wrists are right below the shoulders. Extend your left leg back so it's at hip level, and then exhale, bringing your knee to your nose. Inhale, extend it back. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, or no, inhale straight out. Exhale, knee to nose, sorry. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, pushing it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Pushing it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, push it back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, and then come down with your legs. We're going to bring our hip bones and have them sit on our heels in a kneeling position. And then we'll bring our hands to Anjali Mudra, placing them on our lap. We're going to slide them down to the mat, and they come out into child's pose with our hands still in the Anjali Mudra. Arms are alongside of our head. And then we're going to slide our hands back and then come back up into the kneeling position. And we'll do that again. So we're going to lower our hands down to our lap, then down to the mat. Slide them forward, coming into child's pose. Third eye comes down to the mat. And then slide the hands back, coming up to our lap, coming up to our heart. And then bringing back down again. We'll slide out to the top of the mat. And then inhale, come back up. And then slide them back down. Into child's pose. And then slide them back up. And then slide them back down again. And then slide them back up. We'll do this a few more times. Sliding back down, going at your own pace. And then coming back up. And sliding it back down. Bringing that third eye to the mat, if possible. And then coming back up. And one more time, sliding them down. And then coming back up. We'll come back to tabletop. Tuck our toes under, come back up to downward dog. We'll pedal out here a moment again. Downward dog or triangle pose. And inhale and exhale on each pedal. So you may want to slow your pedaling down. And then we'll walk our feet up to our hands, coming into forward fold. Forward fold, we'll have our feet about hip width apart, maybe just a little closer than hip width. Our knees are going to stay bent. You can bend them generously or just as long as there's a little bit of a bend in your knees. The crown of your head is reaching down toward the ground, toward the mat. I'm going to sweep our hands back and then sweep them up, raising our hands up to the sky. And then forward fold again, bending our knees, sweeping our hands down and back. Then inhaling, sweeping them up to the sky. And then down again. Sweeping them back. And then up toward the sky. Bringing your hands down, sweeping them back. Bring your hands back up toward the sky. We'll do a few more. Sweep your hands down, sending that crown of the head down toward the mat. Up to the sky, sweep our hands down. Crown goes toward the mat, sweeping our hands up. And one last time, sweep our hands down. Crown goes down, and then lifting your hands up to the sky. And we'll come back. Anjali Mudra. And just hold here for a moment. And then release. I'm going to come into a wide-legged stance. where our toes are pointing up toward the top long edge of the mat, not angled toward the corners. They're pointing to the edge, long edge of the mat. And then we'll bring our hands up to shoulder height. We're going to do what called windmills. So we're going to take our right hand and bring it down to our left toes. I remember doing these when I was very young, and then our left hand comes down to our right toe, and then come back up. So exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up. And your knees can be gently bent here. We don't usually lock our knees in any of our poses. Back up, down, come back up, and just go at your own pace. Working on that second chakra there around your hips, and your third chakra, the solar plexus. And we'll do a few more. And we'll come back up and we'll come back to mountain pose. And the mountain pose is the same as it always is. Our feet are about hip width apart, toes pointing to the straight edge of the mat. Navel's tucked to the spine. That's one of the bandhas. Shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. Chin slightly tucked in toward the chest. That's another bandha. The crown of the head's reaching straight up to the sky. And in this pose, we're going to bring our arms up into goalposts. And then we're going to actually use the Gyan mudra, where we bring our index fingers to our thumbs. And we're going to twist. We're going to keep our hips straight to the long or to the edge of the mat and twist our upper torso. So, and we're going to bring our head along with the twist. So we're going to twist to the left, bringing our head and arms to the left, and then over to the right. So we're going to twist to the left, then twist to the right. And this one, we actually can employ that breath of fire. So inhale, exhale. Watch your hips so that they stay forward. And then we'll come back Bring our hands to heart center, elbows up, hold. And then release. The next one, we're going to use the chair pose. Feet are hip width apart, and we're going to send our hips down toward our ankles. Our navel's tucked to the spine, very important. Then we come about here in chair pose. We're going to bring our hands out in front of us at shoulder height, interlace our fingers, and it's going to be, we're going to do a chopping thing, and we're going to use the same breath. So I'm going to lift up. Like we're chopping wood. I've seen where they've used the mantra Sut Nam to help continue with this. So you go Sut Nam, Sut Nam, Sut Nam, Sut Nam, Sut Nam. Inhaling and exhaling. Few more moments. And then come back to mountain pose, Anjali mudras, elbows up, hold. Feel that energy swirling around in you. And then release. Alrighty. So let's go on to our backs. So you bring yourself down to your mat. And we're going to roll back. You can either tuck your hands under your knees and express yourself back there, or one vertebrae at a time, either with your knees down or up. And we'll come into, actually, I'm just going to cheat for a moment because I haven't seen this in any of the videos, but I love doing knees to chest, just to give my lower back a massage. So I'm going to do that for a moment. And then we'll bring our feet down to the mat, hip width apart. And we're going to do some repetitions of bridge pose. So with the bridge pose, you know, we're going to tuck our navel to our spine, making that nice kind of bowl shape where our hips are, our solar plexus too. And then with our hands alongside, palms down to support us, we're going to push down our feet and lift up to bridge. And then slowly come back down, feeling each vertebrae along the way, coming down to the mat. And then lift again, tucking your navel to your spine, lifting your hips up to the sky. And then slowly coming down one vertebrae at a time. Then inhale, lifting up. And exhale, coming down. It's going to be a nice gentle inhale, exhale, following your movements. Inhale, coming up, tucking your navel to your spine, and then coming back down. As you can probably feel along your spine, where all those chakra action energy centers are, coming back down. And in particular, up to your throat. So this one works on your throat chakra as well. Inhale, coming up, your shoulders, feel that energy on your throat, and then slowly lower down. Inhale, come back up, and then slowly come back down. Tuck your navel, create that bowl, pushing down your feet, lifting up, and then come back down. Coming back up. Just go, continue on for a few moments. Sure you tuck your navel to your spine when you lift up, supporting your lower back. Let's do a couple more. And the last one, coming down to your back. And we're going to stay in this position. We're going to put either your hands underneath your hips and using your index finger and your thumb to make a triangle, and then sliding that underneath your hips may work. Or if you have a blanket nearby, you can bring that underneath. The idea is, well, actually I think the fingers are going to work better, is that we're trying to lift or lift the bottom of our hips so that the lower back comes as close to the mat, if not right on the mat. It's that same feeling that we get when we tuck our navel to the spine and bring it down to the mat. So then we're going to lift our legs up, and we're going to do some bicycle pedaling here. So on, we're going to send out, keep our feet flexed, send out the left leg straight, and then bring it back, and then send out the right leg straight. And just as we were doing for downward dog or triangle, we're going to assign a inhale and exhale to each foot. So, and then with that, we'll do with it the breath of fire. So, This actually sounds like me when I actually ride a bike. I'm puffing and panting as I go. Haven't tried an electric assisted bicycle yet. That's on my bucket list. Just a few more now. And bring your feet back down. You bring your hands to your heart center, elbows out, and hold. And release. Now you scooch your hips over toward the right side of the mat. And then we cross our right leg over our left, as if you're sitting in a chair, crossing your right legs on top. And then we're going to lower our legs down toward the mat, to the mat. And if they don't reach and you want to support them with a block or blanket, that's fine. Trying to keep our upper torso on the mat, where our shoulders are on the mat. And then we'll bring our arms into goalposts. And we're going to send our right arm straight up. So that's alongside our ear. And we're going to take that hand and reach, like there's something in back of us that we want to grab. So you reach and feel that stretch in your upper arm. And then have it just hover maybe a little bit above the mat or the floor. And then bring it over diagonally to the side so that it's kind of along the, pointing to the corner of the mat. We're going to inhale, bringing the arm back so it's right near our ear. And exhale, so that's pointing diagonally up toward the mat. And we still have that active energy, that reach feeling in our arm. So inhale, back to the ear. And exhale, reaching. This can be a deep inhale and exhale, not necessarily the breath of fire. Reaching toward your ear, inhale, exhale, sending it out on a diagonal. Inhale back toward the ear, exhale out on the diagonal. Inhale to the ear, exhale out to the diagonal. Inhale to the ear, exhale out to the diagonal. Inhale to the ear, out to the diagonal, and then bring it into the ear, and then bring your arm back down alongside you, and we'll switch sides. So untwist your legs, bring yourself back to center, and then move your hips over to the left side of the mat. Take our left leg, cross it over, and I should have suggested this before, I apologize. If that's a little too twisty for you, you can just drop both knees alongside one another. So cross over if you like, dropping your knees to the right side of the mat. Shoulders are on the mat. Arms come up in goalpost shape. And then we're going to stretch our left arm up alongside our ear our left ear and have it reaching towards something in back of us. And then exhale out on a diagonal. Inhale back in. Exhale out. Inhale back in toward the ear. Exhale out on the diagonal. Inhale back toward the ear. Keeping that reach stretch going. Inhale out. Exhale out. Inhale back in toward the ear. Exhale out. Inhale back 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 toward the ear. We'll do a couple more times. Exhale out. Inhale back. Exhale out. Inhale back. Exhale out. And inhale back into the ear, and then bring your arm alongside of you and twist your legs back up to seating. And then we'll prepare for Shavasana. Shavasana, you just relax and let go. Kind of like what we were doing earlier when we held in our Anjali mudra and then release. We'll just release now. And in Kundalini, Shavasana is not actually the end. There's often a few more poses that are done. We'll just rest here for a moment longer. And we'll bring our knees to our chest and give our knees a nice hug. Maybe rock on the lower back, give that lower back a massage. Then we'll tuck our hands underneath the crease of our knee, and we're gonna rock and roll up to a seated position. So you can rock for as long as it takes to get up to a seated position, or you can bring yourself right up to a seated position. We'll bring our hands to Anjali mudra, thumbs touching the sternum, elbows out. Have force in our hands. And the term Sat Nam, essence of truth, is a greeting, and it's also a way of closing out the session. Sat, we say it in the chant, Sat Nam. Thank you all for joining me.